people who voted for Biden. How do you feel he is doing? Worse than who I wanted, exactly what I expected, better than what we had. Meh. He's kinda like a ham sandwich. Nothing special. But it's not going to give you diarrhea either. I have few complaints actually. I'm delighted with $35 insulin. Infrastructure bill's a winner. Ketanji Brown Jackson on the court. Plus lots more judges. And attempts at loan forgiveness are excellent. I've been extremely impressed with Biden rallying European allies against Russia. And glad to see him making a strong case for democracies in the world. I am glad government is boring again. Comparatively. But I am still very much wishing his administration would do more to reunite immigrant families. And that failure probably hurts the most. On balance, I'm pretty happy with him. I had low expectations and he's exceeded them in many areas. But he's met them in others. I think he's made real progress on issues that are important to me. Not necessarily profound progress, but certainly steps in the right direction. I think his infrastructure plans, tax reform plans, management of the war between Ukraine and Russia, policy on relations with China, and pharma reforms have pleasantly surprised me. I've felt his foreign policy overall has been a highlight of his administration. His substantial experience in politics really shows there, and I feel his policies have been quite effective and well measured. On other issues he's been very disappointing. His handling of the rail union contract was abysmal and was a reminder of the era of politics that he belongs to. The Afghanistan withdrawal was an absolute train wreck. While I think his predecessor essentially left it for him as a poison pill, he's the chief executive and the responsibility for failure rests squarely on his shoulders. The military leadership within CENTCOM at the time was absolutely disgraceful as well. I was deeply embarrassed at the incompetence I saw across nearly every level of leadership all the way up to division. Again, chief executive is responsible for that. Overall, I think he's a competent and effective president. But nothing particularly outstanding. Certainly better than what we kicked out of office. But a paragon of progressive virtues he is not. I'd feel no qualms about re-electing him though. And I certainly feel that the country is in much better hands than it was under Trump. It's sad that 99% of the answers are that people only voted for him cause he is not Trump. That is the sad reality of modern-day America. People are voting for the least horrible candidate. Time to flush out these old politicians and bring in some fresh faces. Both sides. He's a boring president who somehow manages to pass some pretty monumental legislation. I think this is what the voters wanted. It's nice to wake up and go through a day without hearing about ridiculous and unnecessary tweets about everything from the elected official of the country. Far better than expected. Frankly, I consider myself a progressive pragmatist. I believe Biden is also a pragmatist. But I didn't expect him to be as progressive as he has been. I get why he has done a lot of the things he's criticized for from the left. I think he makes some of the same mistakes Obama did by having way too much faith in Republicans. He still seems convinced that they care about anything but political maneuvering. He's done a great job. Arguably better than Obama. So far he signed the IRA significant climate change legislation, pardoned federal marijuana convictions, used executive action to lessen student debt pending litigation, along with many other things with an increasingly partisan legislature. I swear if Bernie Sanders was president and did the exact same things as Biden, Reddit would be jizzing all over itself. I prefer a centrist that I don't have to check in on every 20 minutes and quietly does things to encourage the middle class. I voted for Biden because he wasn't Trump. I don't believe I would have even voted for a Democrat if that wasn't the case. I just wanted a president with some basic human decency. I got that from Biden. I got exactly what I voted for. 2 years of peace and quiet. Better than I expected and significantly better than the last guy. Biden was my last choice Democrat for president, but he's shown that his experience is still valuable. There are things I am pleased with and a number of things I am very disappointed in. That being said, I'd take 4 more years of Biden over any of the lunatics on the GOP bench. I think he's doing a lot better than I expected him to. I was prepared for 4 years of nothing much happening. He's all right and trying to deliver on campaign promises. I'm good with this. He's doing pretty good actually. Passing laws and policies I generally agree with. IRA, CHIPS, PSLF reform. Plus hopefully long-term IDR reform. And hopefully the new budget passes with the expanded child tax credit. Inflation sucks. But that's something I look to the Fed to effectively fix. Not Congress and the executive. Much better than I expected. I didn't think he'd be anywhere near this effective getting legislation through Congress. Or such an impressive leader overall. 8/10 would vote for him again. He's actually done a really great job. I love the bipartisan legislation that he's passed. Like all presidents, there's stuff he says and does I don't like. Overall he's gotten a lot done. More than most of his recent predecessors, and while he may be old AF, at least he's not a moron like the last guy. Better than the alternative, but that's a pretty low bar. Doesn't matter. Congress is such a waste of space that the president is kind of irrelevant in the grand scheme. I literally went from centrist left-leaning to centrist right-leaning within the first year of his presidency. He's terrible, and I realized during his run that all his tactics were designed to pander to race. Saw an ad on YouTube of black dudes in a barber shop talking about Trump not handing out another stimulus check and some other issue, and they're all angry like, come on dog. We need a president that cares bruh. Then at the end it's like, this was approved by Biden, LMAO. Then that you aren't black if you don't vote for me, comment Biden made. The fact he got Kamala Harris as his running mate etc., promising to do something about student debt etc., just told me this guy was pandering to the young people who want to fight social injustice and also want their debts forgiven. LMAO, they did all they could, and sure enough those people voted for Biden, and look. Just look. I asked myself right away, could I have been wrong about Trump? Why was the media so up in arms about him? I started finding the actual video clips that CNN took and spun to make him look like a loon or a racist or all the other things they called him. And then I saw the tactics they used. Trump was a good president. But the left is so hypnotized into thinking every right-winger is a proud boy type gun-toting, monster truck-driving religious zealot that hates everyone of color, and they are also hypnotized into thinking that by virtue signaling and posting memes supporting black-owned business or trans right etc. that they're better people. Meanwhile, the people who are actually in charge are slowly rolling back our rights and tightening its grasp on us while inflation booms and misery ensues. They have us pointing the finger at each other instead of at them. TL. Doctor. I went from centrist left-leaning to centrist right-leaning after doing adequate research and growing up a little.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.